Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakadash, double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone of all well and Shalom to the Akim, that be teaching this word around the globe with faith and truth and sincerity. I'm the brother Caleb from the GMS line of forecasters, came back with another lesson to help edify the Lord's elect. I'd like to start by saying that we are the real Hebrew Israelites, and the real Israelites, these so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, West Indians, and West Africans predominantly. However, you will find Israelites that do look like the other nations, because we as a people have been scattered amongst all nations. But if your seed line by your forefathers goes back to the land in the Bible that was named Israel, then you too are an Israelite, no matter what you may look like, because the book of Numbers chapter 1 and verse 18 states that your nationality is determined by the lineage of your forefathers. So I was just checking the news out, and I came across this article from the Daily Telegraph. It's an interesting one. It says, fathers who don't pay child support to be tagged and banned from the pub. Now, just reading that headline sounds very wicked, but it also makes me think about the MOTB, and in one of the many ways that it could be used. Because let's say you take the MOTB and you don't pay your so-called child support, Esau can start shutting down your privileges in society. For example, he might start barring you from places like, let's say, as in this case, you want to go to the pub, you might make it so your chip doesn't work in certain pubs or even certain restaurants, or like you couldn't stay in certain hotels, or you would be denied access to certain shops. All this is what Esau is capable of doing and probably will try and do. But this is very one-sided, because it doesn't say parents who don't pay child support, because you've got some deadbeat mothers out there too. And you've got the fathers as the sole parent and guardian in terms of raising their child. But yet this doesn't apply to women. So you could be a deadbeat mum, running off with another man, leaving your husband and your children, and there's no recourse for that. There's no recompense for that. However, you could be a dad who's trying to do your best by your child. In a lot of cases, these women make the man's life hell, and they deny him access to the children. Now they're going to come down with this, as to say, if you don't pay your child support, then they're going to put you in a tag and ban you from the pub. And this goes to show that Esau's fucking insinuated himself insidiously into the lives and marriages of the people. It's like the marriage is supposed to be between the husband and the wife. It's not like now you've got a third party in the mix, which is the government interjecting themselves into people's lives, when really these are things that the government shouldn't be doing. Let's read it. Fathers who don't pay child support to be tagged and banned from the pub. Absent parents now owe 4.74 million in child support, 474 million in child maintenance, and we crack down on neglectful fathers. Right? And of course, it's written by a woman, Rachel Mortimer. Parents who refuse to pay child support could soon be fitted with an electronic tag and put under a curfew in a fresh crackdown on tens of thousands of neglectful fathers. See how one-sided this bullshit is? The government plans to impose strict restrictions on parents who fail to pay child maintenance, including stopping them from socializing, going to the pub, or on holiday. Parents who break the curfew could face a prison sentence. Whoa, man! Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees. It's like a woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees. Let me get that. Isaiah 10 and verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that ripe grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that the widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. It's a bit annoying, man. It's always some new shit with Esau every day, man. It says, the government plans to impose strict restrictions on parents who fail to pay child maintenance, including stopping them from socializing, going to the pub, or on holiday. Parents who break the curfew could face a prison sentence. Both parents are responsible for the cost of raising their children, even if one parent is absent, and a support plan can either be arranged privately or through a government-run child maintenance service. The vast majority of parents, 93 PC, who must pay child support are male. See that? 93% are male. But you know what's the ironic thing? Esau has done his best to break down the family unit. Now he wants to punish people for the fact that their families are broken. How ridiculous is that, man? I'm sick of this guy, man. I'm sick of this fucking devil. These Edomites running shit, man. Right, so it says, the share of parents paying their child support has steadily declined over the past year, and more than 474 million of maintenance was outstanding at the end of March, according to official figures. In the first quarter of this year, almost 61,000 parents failed to pay their former spouse and child money owed via the CMS. I guess that's child maintenance service. About half of children receive no financial support from a parent they do not share a home with. Baroness Deborah Stedman Scott, Parliamentary Undersecretary at the Department of Work and Pensions, said that the government was not afraid to go after parents who deliberately and repeatedly refused to pay for their children. Look at that, man. You can have a nice hot household with your wife and your child. Then your woman turns around and says she don't want you no more. You have to get out. I want someone else, and you have to pay for my new fucking lifestyle. What kind of rubbish is this? She said, for children in low-income households and maintenance. She said, for children in low-income households, maintenance payments can make all the difference, lifting them out of poverty. Curfew orders are another step towards providing us with a full arsenal of powers to make sure children get their financial support that they need and have the best start in life. Look at this graph, right? This is cost of raising a child to age 18. As you can see, a lone parent, their costs are higher than the costs of a couple. But yet Esau still pushes towards destroying the families. That's why you call these single fucking parents out here, man. How much more is this? Finish it off. The DWP, which is the Department of Work and Pensions, said it hoped curfews would act as a deterrent by disrupting the lifestyles of parents, shirking their responsibilities. Look, this is what he's done. He's disrupted the lifestyles of the people. The Telegraph understands that the government would not push for curfews on parents who had paid some but not all of their maintenance. The CMS can already ask courts to confiscate passports. Look at that, man. The CMS can already ask courts to confiscate passports and driving licenses, deduct outstanding maintenance from earnings, and send offending parents to prison. Fucking hell, man. Victoria Benson of Gingerbread, a charity for single parents, said child support was not an optional expense. Miss Benson, see all these fucking women. Miss Benson said, "We are increasingly hearing from single parents who are more reliant than ever on child maintenance and struggle to feed their children when a payment is late or missed. We welcome new powers for the CMS, but it already has the capacity to enforce child maintenance. The problem is these powers are very rarely used and arrears are allowed to build up over years." Research by the University of York in 2019 found that 60 PC, what does PC mean? Of single parent families who lived in poverty, I'm going to have to assume that means percent, and did not receive child maintenance would rise above the breadline if paid the money they were owed. However, earlier this year, MPs warned the DWP and its service, the CMS, was failing the 1.8 million children in separated families who receive no support from an absent parent. A damning report published by the Public Accounts Committee found enforcement was too slow to be effective in cases where children had been financially abandoned by a parent. The CMS said it had collected or arranged $1 billion in child maintenance payments last year in what was a crucial weapon in the battle against child poverty. However, Ms. Benson said, "Simply giving the CMS more powers isn't the answer. The service must be reformed to better support those who use it and protect children from living in poverty." So if you really wanted to protect children from living in poverty, you do your best to encourage these families to stay together rather than empowering the woman by giving her an option. For example, if a woman's married to her husband living in a home, she can run to the government and say, "Oh, well, I want to leave him." And they'll fucking try and offer her a property to live in. So she has somewhere to run to steal the man's children. Now the man can't see his kids, but yet is forced to pay child maintenance. This is fucking a wicked ass system and completely broken. And this is what Esau pushes. So let me read that precept again and I'll close out. "Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and the right grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that the widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless." So with that, man, just quick lesson. Frustrating things that you see in the news, but hey, you know, this is all coming to an end soon. All this broken society, broken homes, discord in families, this is all coming to an end, man, because Esau's going to be taken out of power. For those of you who don't know who Esau is a so-called predominantly white people on the face of the earth, and they've set up a society which is completely broken, doesn't work, and is about to be destroyed by Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, Yahweh, be in the name of the Heavenly Father, the one true God of the Bible. His name is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahweh Shai, who's the one that the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. His name means he saves or he delivers, and that's what he's coming to do. He's coming to deliver his people out of captivity. So this is all coming to an end very soon. So with that, giving all praise and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kakadash. Double honours unto the elders and apostles of great millstone and all well. And shalom to all the Archeum teaching this word around the globe with faith and truth and sincerity. And Lord, will now catch you on the next lesson soon. Shalom for now.